There's a country where football is more than just a sport. It's an unspoken religion, a shared belief that unites millions of hearts. Here, children grow up with a ball at their feet, carrying dreams of one day wearing the national team's jersey. In historic town squares, colorful murals of football legends are more than art. They're living symbols of resilience and hope, born from coastal communities that once faced hardship. This is a nation that once made the world stand still with its magical moments on the pitch. From unbelievable free kicks to the determined eyes of a boy who came from a small island in the Atlantic. And in this very land, you'll also find endless beaches with crystal clear waters, towering cliffs where waves crash into white spray, and valleys shaded by vineyards heavy with grapes. Nature here doesn't shout for attention, but it quietly captivates, whether it's a sunset over the ocean or a cobblestone path winding through a centuries-old village. This is Portugal, where a passion for football blends with deep-rooted history and breathtaking landscapes to create a journey that's both vibrant and unforgettable. So start your adventure in the place where dreams and landscapes meet. Lisbon, the sun-kissed capital of Portugal, sits at the edge of the Atlantic, where the Tagus River meets the sea. It's Europe's westernmost capital, and one of its most captivating, with a history as deep as its views are wide. Believed to have been founded by Phoenicians as a small trading port, Lisbon became a Roman municipium under Julius Caesar. Centuries later, it would launch the Age of Discoveries, a golden era that made it the heart of a global empire. Though nearly destroyed by a powerful earthquake in 1755, the city was reborn under the vision of the Marquês de Pombal, with wide boulevards, open squares, and graceful neoclassical buildings. Today, Lisbon balances past and present. Vintage trams still rattle up cobbled hills, while modern bridges like the Vasco da Gama span the Tagus, connecting a thriving metropolis. Wander the steep alleys of Alfama, where fado music drifts from candlelit taverns, or take in sweeping views from Miraduros high above the rooftops. Explore landmarks like the Belém Tower, the Geronimo's Monastery, and the Praça do Comércio, where marble steps meet the river. From ancient roots to cosmopolitan energy, Lisbon's soulful rhythm and warm light leave a lasting impression on all who visit. Porto, perched along the Douro River in northern Portugal, is a city where history, tradition, and modern life come together in striking harmony. Once known as Portus Cale during Roman times, this ancient settlement gave Portugal its name, and has long played a vital role in the nation's identity. Over the centuries, it has weathered conquests by Visigoths, Moors, and Christian forces, each leaving a mark on its culture and character. Today, Porto is best known for its world-famous port wine, first exported in the 17th century and still aged in riverside cellars across from the old town. But beyond the wine, it's the atmosphere that captures visitors: steep hills, tiled buildings, and a rich mix of medieval streets and bold contemporary design. The city is both industrious and creative, with a strong manufacturing base, a lively art scene, and a deep connection to the sea. From its role in the Age of Discovery to its growing popularity among travelers, Porto is a place where past and present meet in every stone, street, and river, viewed timeless, vibrant, and unmistakably Portuguese. Algarve, Portugal's southernmost region, is a land where golden beaches meet centuries of history. Stretching along the Atlantic coast, this sun-drenched area has been home to many civilizations, from the Phoenicians and Romans to the Moors, who ruled for nearly 500 years and left behind whitewashed villages, tiled courtyards, and the region's name itself, Algarve, meaning the West. In 1189, Algarve was officially incorporated into the Kingdom of Portugal. Centuries later, in the 15th century, Prince Henry the Navigator turned Sagres into a hub for maritime exploration, marking the region's key role in the Age of Discoveries. Today, Algarve is one of Europe's top travel destinations. Tourists flock to its coastal gems like Lagos, Albufeira, and Tavira for dramatic cliffs, pristine beaches, and a laid-back Mediterranean lifestyle. Faro, the capital, houses the region's international airport and a growing university. Inland, almond trees, orange groves, and olive farms hint at a simpler past. With over 4 million visitors a year and a population that triples during peak season, tourism now drives much of the economy. Yet the Algarve still offers quiet fishing villages, fresh seafood, and a quality of life that draws retirees from across Europe. It's where history, culture, and natural beauty come together effortlessly. Nestled in the forested hills of Portugal's Sintra Mountains, just west of Lisbon, lies one of Europe's most enchanting cultural landscapes. In the 19th century, Sintra became a cradle of romantic architecture, led by King Ferdinand II, who transformed a ruined monastery into the colorful and eclectic Peña Palace. blending Gothic, Moorish, Renaissance, and Egyptian styles. He surrounded the palace with lush gardens filled with exotic trees from around the world. But Sintra's charm runs deeper than just Penna. Scattered across the hills are historic treasures like the medieval Moorish castle, the tile-covered National Palace of Sintra, and the fantastical Quinta da Regalera. The 18th century Montserrat Palace, designed by a British baronet, adds Indian and neo-Gothic flair, surrounded by a botanical garden with over 3,000 species. This unique blend of architecture, nature, and history helped Sintra become a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its misty forests, dramatic granite peaks, and fairy tale palaces have inspired artists, architects, and travelers for centuries. Even today, wandering Sintra's winding trails feels like stepping into another world where every path leads to a story, and every turn reveals a new wonder. The Azores are a stunning archipelago of 9 volcanic islands in the North Atlantic, about 870 miles west of Lisbon. A part of Portugal, these islands are known for their lush landscapes, crater lakes, dramatic cliffs, and the towering Mount Pico, the highest peak in the country. Each island has its own unique charm, from the green pastures of São Miguel to the quiet beauty of Flores. Though officially discovered by Portuguese sailors in the 15th century, some evidence suggests the Norse may have reached the islands centuries earlier. During the Age of Exploration, the Azores served as a key stop for transatlantic voyages. Ponta Delgada, the largest city, rose in importance after an earthquake in 1522 devastated the former capital. Over the centuries, Azorians endured Spanish occupation, civil wars, and emigration waves, particularly to the US and Canada. Today, the islands thrive on tourism, farming, and fishing, offering visitors a chance to explore volcanic caves, soak in hot springs, and experience a slower, nature-filled way of life. Whether you're hiking through misty trails, watching whales off the coast, or wandering cobbled towns with centuries-old churches, the Azores feel like a world apart, quiet, raw, and unforgettable. Madeira is a Portuguese archipelago set in the North Atlantic, about 600 miles southwest of mainland Portugal. Born from volcanic activity, its dramatic peaks rise from deep ocean floors, with lush valleys, cliffs, and ancient forests shaping the landscape. The main island, Madeira, along with Porto Santo and the uninhabited Desertas and Selvagans, form this remote yet captivating region. Discovered by Portuguese sailors in 1419 and settled a year later, Madeira was one of the earliest finds during the Age of Discovery. Its fertile soil and mild climate made it ideal for agriculture, once famous for sugarcane and now better known for bananas, grapes, and the world-renowned Madeira wine. Funchal, the island's capital, is perched on the south coast and blends old-world charm with vibrant street life. Visitors come for the colorful markets, colonial churches, and scenic cable car rides to Monte. Inland hikers explore the laurel forests, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, while coastal travelers enjoy dolphin-watching tours and cliffside viewpoints. Porto Santo, with its golden beaches and quiet charm, lies northeast of Madeira, offering a slower pace. Today, Madeira is a year-round destination for nature lovers, history buffs, and those seeking peaceful beauty far from the mainland. The Douro Valley is one of Europe's most breathtaking wine regions, a place where nature and human craftsmanship meet in perfect harmony. Carved by the river that flows from Spain to the Atlantic, this valley in northern Portugal has shaped the land, people, and culture for centuries. Recognized as the world's oldest demarcated wine region since 1756, the Douro is best known for port wine, aged in cellars across Vila Nova de Gaia. Traditionally transported by flat-bottomed Rebelo boats, today these wines are shipped in tankers, but the heritage remains. Porto, at the river's mouth, is a great starting point, rich in architecture, food, and history. Traveling upriver reveals a chain of unforgettable stops: Paso de Regua and the Douro Museum, the Azulejo covered train station in Pinhao, Lamego's Baroque sanctuary of Nossa Senhora dos Remedios, and the prehistoric rock carvings of the Coa Valley, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. As the river nears the Spanish border, it winds through narrow gorges in the International Douro Natural Park, an area of raw, untouched beauty. This part of the river once formed a natural barrier, marking both geographic and cultural divides between nations. Douro offers a deep, soulful experience, one shaped by centuries of tradition and the timeless flow of the river itself. Tucked in the hills of central Portugal, Óbidos is a fairy tale town wrapped in medieval walls and timeless charm. Once a Celtic settlement known as Eburobritium, it later became a Roman outpost before falling under Moorish control. In 1148, Portugal's first king, Afonso Henriques, reclaimed the town, marking the final step in securing the Extremadura region. By the 13th century, Óbidos was gifted to Queen Urraca, beginning its legacy as the Town of Queens. Its cobbled streets, whitewashed homes trimmed in blue and gold, and flowering balconies preserve a romantic past shaped by royalty, earthquakes, and revolution. The 14th century castle, rebuilt by King Dinis, now houses a luxury hotel, while the Church of Santa Maria witnessed a royal wedding between two children, ages 9 and 10. Today, Óbidos is a UNESCO creative city and literary haven. Bookshops fill repurposed spaces from churches to old grocery stores, offering everything from poetry to travel tales. Don't miss the annual chocolate festival, Folio Literary Fair, or its magical Christmas village. Whether for history, sweets, or stories, Óbidos welcomes you to step back in time and linger. And just beyond the walls, vineyards and rolling hills invite travelers to slow down, sip local wines, and take in the peaceful rhythm of Portuguese countryside life. Just a short drive from Lisbon, Cascais is a coastal gem where history and elegance meet the Atlantic. Once a quiet fishing village, it rose to prominence in the late 19th century when King Louis I made it the royal family's summer retreat. From 1870 to 1908, the Portuguese court vacationed here, bringing with them aristocrats, artists, and high society. That legacy lives on in the town's grand villas, leafy promenades, and its air of refined charm. But Cascais' story begins long before royalty arrived. Archaeological finds show human activity dating back to the Paleolithic era. Romans built fish salting factories here. Moors left their mark in place names like Alcabadech, and medieval fortresses defended Lisbon's coastline for centuries. By the 14th century, Cascais had gained independence from Sintra and was thriving as a maritime hub. In the 20th century, its allure grew even more. During World War II, exiled royals from Spain, Italy, and Bulgaria found refuge here. Estoril's casino, said to have inspired Ian Fleming's Casino Royale, and the nearby marina added glamour to its tranquil setting. Today, Cascais is a beloved destination for sun-seekers and surfers alike. With golden beaches, cobbled streets, world-class sailing, and vibrant cultural events, it's no surprise this former royal hideaway continues to enchant visitors from around the world. Funchal, the sun-drenched capital of Madeira, lies along the island's southern coast and has been a crossroads of history and trade for over 600 years. Founded in the early 15th century by Portuguese navigator João Gonçalves Zarco, the city quickly became a vital port in the Atlantic, attracting settlers with its fertile soil and strategic location. Over time, it fell briefly under Spanish and British control, endured pirate raids in the 1502, and rose again as a center of commerce and culture. By the late 1402, sugar plantations brought great wealth, soon followed by the rise of Madeira wine, a world-famous export that even Shakespeare mentioned in his plays. Grand mansions and stone cathedrals sprang up, while vineyards crept up the terraced hillsides. Funchal also became a retreat for European royals and writers, including Austria's last emperor and Winston Churchill, who came for the island's peaceful air and soft light. Today, Funchal is a blend of old and new. Its cobbled lanes, tropical gardens, and colonial architecture sit beside bustling markets, modern resorts, and a scenic harbor. With year-round sunshine, rich culture, and direct international access, it's no surprise Funchal has become one of Portugal's top island escapes. The Jerónimos Monastery, nestled in Lisbon's Belém district, stands as one of Portugal's most iconic monuments and a masterpiece of Manueline architecture. Commissioned by King Manuel I in 1501, it was built to honor the voyages of discovery, especially Vasco da Gama's historic journey to India, which helped turn Portugal into a global maritime power. The construction was funded by a tax on the lucrative spice trade, and no expense was spared. The monastery replaced a small hermitage where da Gama and his crew are believed to have prayed before setting sail. It was entrusted to the Hieronymite monks, who served the dual role of praying for the king's soul and providing spiritual aid to sailors. Over time, it became a royal burial site, housing the tombs of da Gama, poet Luis de Camões, and several monarchs from the House of Aviz. Though religious orders were dissolved in 1833 and the building fell into neglect, major restorations in the late 19th century revived its grandeur. It miraculously withstood the 1755 Lisbon earthquake with minimal damage, a rare feat among the city's historical structures. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983, the Jerónimos Monastery is now a symbol of Portugal's golden age of exploration. Its intricate stonework, ocean-themed motifs, and peaceful cloisters draw travelers from around the world. Standing proudly along the banks of the Tagus River in Lisbon, Belém Tower is one of Portugal's most enduring symbols of its maritime heritage. Built between 1514 and 1519 during the Age of Discovery, the tower once guarded the entrance to the city and served as a point of departure for explorers heading to unknown worlds. Commissioned by King Manuel I and designed by Francisco de Arruda, the structure is a masterpiece of Manueline architecture, a uniquely Portuguese style, rich with nautical and Moorish influences. Its carved ropes, armillary spheres, and crosses of the Order of Christ celebrate Portugal's seafaring glory, while a rare stone rhinoceros, inspired by a real gift from India, adds a touch of whimsy. Constructed from local Leo's limestone, the tower originally stood on a small island just offshore. Over time, the riverbank expanded, connecting it to land. Beyond its beauty, the tower also served as a prison, a customs house, and later a national monument. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983 alongside the nearby Geronimos Monastery, it remains a beloved landmark. Today, visitors can climb its narrow staircases, gaze across the Tagus, and step into a chapter of Portugal's golden age, where stone walls once watched ships sail out to shape history. Cabo da Roca stands proudly as the westernmost point of mainland Europe, where the land falls sharply into the Atlantic from 140-meter-high cliffs. Just 42 kilometers west of Lisbon, it's part of the Sintra Cascades Natural Park and a favorite stop along Portugal's scenic coastal route. Windswept and wild, the Cape offers sweeping views of the ocean and the Serra de Sintra, drawing in hikers, nature lovers, and those looking to stand at the edge of a continent. The lighthouse, still active today, began guiding ships in 1772, Portugal's first purpose-built beacon. Centuries earlier, the Romans called this spot Promontorium Magnum, and during the Age of Discovery, sailors knew it as the Rock of Lisbon. In the 1602, a military fort once stood here to defend Lisbon's harbor, especially during the Peninsular Wars. While modern travelers come for the panoramic views and salty sea air, Cabo de Roca also offers a certificate to mark your visit. The cliffs are home to seabirds and resilient coastal plants shaped by fog, wind, and waves. If you're exploring Sintra or Cascais, take the winding drive out to this breathtaking cape where Europe ends and the Atlantic begins. Once a humble fishing village on Portugal's Silver Coast, Nazaré shot to fame in 2011 when Hawaiian surfer Garrett McNamara conquered a jaw-dropping 78-foot wave off Praia do Norte. Since then, Nazaré has become legendary in the world of big wave surfing. But beyond the adrenaline, this coastal town offers a rich tapestry of history and faith. Nazaré's roots stretch back to prehistoric times, once home to a vast lagoon that attracted early settlers. By the 12th century, the area known as Pedernera was a bustling port town with shipyards, markets, and strong Cistercian ties. Over time, sand buildup shifted the community downhill, where the beach and dramatic cliffs form today's Nazaré. Perched high above the Atlantic, the Sitio district is where legend meets landscape. Here stands the sanctuary of Our Lady of Nazaré, home to a Black Madonna said to have traveled from the Holy Land. A nearby chapel marks the spot where the Virgin Mary was believed to have saved a knight from riding off a cliff in 1182. Today, Nazaré blends deep-rooted traditions with high-octane surf culture. Locals still wear colorful seven-skirt outfits during festivals, and the funicular links the town's hilltop pass to its beachside pulse. From sacred legends to record-breaking swells, Nazaré is where old-world soul meets wild Atlantic power. Coimbra, nestled along the Mondego River in central Portugal, is a city where history, culture, and academia meet. Once known as Amanium during Roman times, it rose in prominence after nearby Coimbra was destroyed in the 5th century. Later ruled by the Moors, Coimbra was reclaimed in 878 and went on to serve as Portugal's capital from 1139 to 1260. Six medieval kings were born here. Its crown jewel is the University of Coimbra, founded in 1290 and moved here in 1537. As one of Europe's oldest universities, it remains a vibrant academic hub. The historic campus, recognized by UNESCO, includes a stunning Baroque library, ancient lecture halls, and a chapel with a Renaissance portal. Roman ruins like the Cryptoporticus, Gothic cathedrals, and medieval convents blend seamlessly with the city's modern life. Coimbra was also a center of music and science during the Renaissance, and many of its traditions, from academic robes to fado music, live on. Across the river in Santa Clara, you'll find the haunting site tied to Inés de Castro's tragic legend. Though no longer a capital, Coimbra's charm, legacy, and student energy continue to make it one of Portugal's most compelling cities to explore. Évora, nestled in Portugal's sun-drenched Alentejo region, is one of the country's most timeless cities, steeped in over 2,000 years of layered history. Once called Ibora by Celtic tribes, it was conquered by the Romans in 57 BC and became Liberalitas Iulia, a flourishing town at the crossroads of major trade routes. The impressive Roman temple, often attributed to Emperor Augustus, still rises in the city center as a proud reminder of that classical past. During the Middle Ages, Évora fell under Visigothic and later Moorish control before being recaptured by Christian forces in 1165. Its true golden age began in the 15th century, when Portuguese kings chose Évora as their royal retreat. Lavish palaces, convents, and churches bloomed in the Manueline style, leaving a legacy that would later influence Portuguese colonial architecture in Brazil. By the 16th century, Évora had grown into a major cultural and religious hub, thanks to the founding of the University of the Holy Spirit, run by Jesuits. Though the university declined after the Jesuits were expelled in 1759, Évora remained remarkably intact through Portugal's Great 1755 earthquake. Today, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is a serene blend of whitewashed homes, wrought iron balconies, Roman ruins, Gothic spires, and winding medieval streets. Alfama is Lisbon's oldest neighborhood, nestled between São Jorge Castle and the Tagus River. Once the entire city during Moorish rule, its name comes from the Arabic al-Hama, meaning hot springs. After the city expanded westward, Alfama became a working-class district, home to fishermen and the poor, a character it still quietly holds. Remarkably, Alfama survived the 1755 earthquake, preserving its maze of narrow alleys, stone stairways, and sun-drenched terraces. Today, it blends history and tradition with a revived energy. Old houses restored, cozy restaurants buzzing with live fado, and views stretching from the Miradoro de Santa Lucia to the Portas do Sol. At the top stands São Jorge Castle, a medieval fortress that was once a royal palace. Scattered across Alfama are landmarks like the 12th century Lisbon Cathedral, the Grand Monastery of São Vicente de Fora, final resting place of Portugal's Braganza kings, and the National Pantheon, once the Church of Santa Engracia. More than just a district, Alfama is where Lisbon's soul lives on. Ponta da Piedade, or Point of Mercy, is a stunning headland just south of Lagos in Portugal's Algarve region. Shaped by centuries of wind and sea, this dramatic stretch of coastline is known for its golden limestone cliffs, sea arches, and labyrinth of grottos carved into the rock. The cliffs rise up to 20 meters, offering panoramic views over the turquoise Atlantic and making it one of the most photographed spots in southern Portugal. A lighthouse dating back to 1913 still stands on the cape, a nod to the area's long maritime history. Today, wooden boardwalks wind along the cliff tops, from Praia Dona Ana to the tip of the headland, guiding visitors past natural viewpoints and protecting the fragile landscape from erosion. Stairs carved into the cliffs lead down to secret beaches and cave openings, where the sound of waves echoes through stone chambers. For a closer look, boat and kayak tours explore the grottos and rock formations from the water, drifting beneath arches and into narrow sea caves. It's a unique way to appreciate the raw beauty of the coastline, especially at sunrise or sunset when the cliffs glow amber. Once open for unrestricted exploration, Ponta da Piedade has been gradually adapted to balance access with conservation. Tucked in Portugal's northwest, Peneda Gerês National Park is the country's only national park and its oldest protected area, established in 1971. Spanning over 700 square kilometers, it stretches across rugged granite mountains, Peneda, Gerês, Soajo, and Amarela, carved by ancient glaciers and threaded with rivers, waterfalls, and deep valleys. This region is a haven for wildlife, hosting rare Iberian species like the Pyrenean desman and gold-striped salamander. Oak and pine forests blanket the hills, preserving the last of Portugal's Atlantic flora. Human history here runs deep. Megalithic tombs and remnants of the Roman gyra road linking Astorga to Braga still trace the land. In some mountain villages like Castro Laborero, locals followed a seasonal migration pattern for centuries, shifting between highland and valley homes. Today, Jerez draws hikers, nature lovers, and history buffs. The submerged ruins of Vilarinho das Fornas emerged during dry years, adding an eerie beauty to this wild, living museum. Recognized by UNESCO and Natura 2000, Jerez remains a symbol of balanced conservation and cultural heritage in the Iberian Peninsula. Visitors can explore stone villages frozen in time, cross Roman bridges still intact after centuries, or hike to panoramic peaks like Altar dos Cabrões near the Spanish border. Nestled in northern Portugal, Braga is one of the country's most historic and spiritually significant cities. With roots stretching back over 2,000 years, it began as Bracara Augusta, a Roman settlement founded in 16 BC under Emperor Augustus. It quickly rose in importance, becoming the capital of the Roman province of Galicia and later the center of the Suebi Kingdom, one of the first post-Roman states in Western Europe. Braga holds a special place in the Christian history of the Iberian Peninsula. Home to Portugal's oldest archdiocese, it was a key force in the spread of Catholicism during the early Middle Ages and played a central role in shaping the religious identity of the region. Ancient chapels like São Frutuoso and the iconic Braga Cathedral stand as powerful reminders of this sacred legacy. Despite being bypassed during the Age of Discoveries, Braga thrived in later centuries, especially under Archbishop Diogo de Souza, who brought Renaissance planning and architecture to the city. Today, it's a thriving center of innovation and youth culture, known for its universities, tech startups, and vibrant festivals. With its rich blend of Roman ruins, medieval churches, and lively modern culture, Braga offers an unforgettable journey through the layers of Portuguese history. Perched on the wooded slopes of Mount Espinho, just outside Braga in northern Portugal, the sanctuary of Bom Jesus do Monte is one of Europe's most iconic pilgrimage sites. Developed over more than 600 years, especially during the Baroque period, It was part of a wider Catholic movement to recreate sacred mountains after the Council of Trent, offering worshippers a symbolic path towards spiritual enlightenment. The sanctuary's most striking feature is its monumental Baroque stairway, the Stairway of the Five Senses. Visitors climb through beautifully sculpted chapels, fountains, and gardens representing the Passion of Christ, flanked by ornate granite structures and lush greenery. The journey ends at a neoclassical church, designed by Carlos Amarante and completed in 1811, offering panoramic views over Braga and beyond. Bom Jesus has been managed by the same religious brotherhood, the Confraternity of Bom Jesus do Monte, since 1629. Its integrity, both architectural and spiritual, has been remarkably preserved through centuries of devotion and care. Today, the sanctuary is not only a place of faith, but also a masterpiece of landscape design, artistic expression, and human resilience. In 2019, it was rightfully recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Nicknamed the Portuguese Venice, Aveiro is a picturesque coastal city in central Portugal, known for its charming canals, colorful malacero boats, and Art Nouveau architecture. With a population of around 80,000, it's the second largest city in the central region and a long-standing center for salt production and fishing industries that date back to Roman times. The name Aveiro comes from the Celtic word aber, meaning river mouth, and its strategic location near the Atlantic made it a key medieval trade port. It was officially mentioned as early as 959, and by the 15th century, it earned royal attention when Princess Street Joanna chose to live in its convent. In 1435, the city began hosting the Feira de Março, Portugal's oldest fair, still held annually. Aveiro faced decline in the late 1500s after a storm sealed off its lagoon, but recovered in the 19th century thanks to new canals and a rail line linking it to Lisbon and Porto. Today, Aveiro is a vibrant mix of history, industry, and tourism. Visitors come to explore its museums, glide through canals, and enjoy local sweets like ovos, moles, and ravas biscuits. Whether you're drawn by its heritage or scenery, Aveiro offers a unique window into Portugal's soul. Often called the cradle of Portugal, Guimarães is where the nation's story began. Nestled in northern Portugal's Minho region, this medieval city was the birthplace of King Afonso Henriques, Portugal's first monarch. It was near here, in 1128, that the pivotal Battle of São Mamede was fought, laying the groundwork for Portuguese independence. Originally known as Vimaranas, the city dates back to the 9th century and grew around a monastery and castle built by Countess Mumadona Dias. Its well-preserved old town, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, blends ancient charm with vibrant modern life. Guimarães is more than just history, it's a cultural hub. Named European Capital of Culture in 2012 and Green Capital for 2026, the city also hosted the 2024 European Trampoline Championships. Travelers can stroll cobbled lanes, explore Roman ruins and medieval walls, and discover hidden Jewish heritage around Rua do Espírito Santo. With lively festivals like the Nicolinas and a proud local spirit, Guimarães is a place where Portugal's past and future meet in harmony. Ponta de São Lourenço, the easternmost tip of Madeira, is a rugged volcanic peninsula located near the town of Caniçal in the municipality of Mágico. Shaped by winds and time, this dramatic stretch of land offers sweeping views over both the north and south coasts of the island. Formed by pyroclastic rock and basalt dikes over 100,000 years ago, the peninsula's semi-arid terrain creates a stark contrast to Madeira's lush interior. Trees are absent here, replaced by low-lying vegetation and hardy endemic plants like Matthiola madeirensis and Echium nervosum. Since 1982, this area has been protected as a partial nature reserve, home to rare birds such as Cory's shearwaters and even the elusive Mediterranean monk seal. The best way to explore Ponta de São Lourenço is by hiking the Vereda Trail, a 6-kilometer round trip that rewards you with panoramic ocean views, cliffside paths, and the chance to spot seabirds riding the Atlantic winds. At its far end stands Farol Islet and its lonely lighthouse, looking out toward Porto Santo and the Desertas Islands. Remote and raw, this peninsula showcases Madeira's wilder, untamed side, a place where volcanic history meets vibrant biodiversity. Perched dramatically on the cliffs of Portugal's rugged Atlantic coast, Azenhas do Mar is a hidden gem just 30 kilometers west of Lisbon, in the municipality of Sintra. Its name, meaning watermills of the sea, comes from a stream that once powered seaside mills as it rushed toward the ocean. With whitewashed houses spilling down the rocky slope, the village offers a Mediterranean charm that feels both untouched and cinematic. Originally a small fishing community, Azenas do Mar became a summer retreat in the mid-20th century for Lisbon and Sintra's upper class. Many of the elegant homes scattered along the cliffs were designed by prominent Portuguese architects aiming to revive traditional styles, complete with classic azulejo, blue and white tile, facades. The older core of the village, with its narrow alleys and stone staircases, still reflects its humble roots and close-knit way of life. At the bottom of the cliff lies a small crescent-shaped beach, only about 30 meters wide and often swallowed by high tide. Just a short drive away are the beaches of Praia da Aguda and Praia do Magoito, local favorites for surfers and sunseekers. Azenas do Mar isn't just beautiful, it's a place where nature, tradition, and history quietly meet. Portugal leaves its mark in quiet, unforgettable ways. From the cliffs of the Algarve to the winding streets of Porto and Lisbon, every corner tells a story shaped by time, salt, air, and tradition. It's a country that doesn't try too hard, it just lets you in. You come for the views, the food, maybe the history. But what stays with you is the pace, the people, and the sense that life here runs deeper than the surface. Portugal isn't about checking boxes. It's about finding something real and realizing you'll want to return before you've even left.